some example, blah blah blah. And that time, add the word at that time, because you were giving one specific example at that time. You would say that time when you told me about many times. You know, I did it this time, I did it this time, and then when I did it that time. But you were just giving one example. That time, at that time, I was very young. At that time, I was very inexperienced. You talked about I prepare about. No, about. I prepare. That is a very famous field. I forget exactly what you're talking about, but I would maybe change the word field. I wasn't sure whether you meant to say that is a very famous example or that is a very famous industry. I wasn't sure which one you meant. You were talking about Fintech or something. The word field did not feel right at that time. You said, is the very famous person in the world? You definitely wouldn't use the word the. You would say, is very famous. And you just don't need person in the world. You can say, is a very famous person. You can just say, is very famous. And finish. And then government gives some free to company. I wasn't sure what you meant. Give some free. Allows freedom or gives something free. I just wasn't exactly sure what you meant by the government gives some free. Gives some free.
So I mean I just want to talk the hands up.
Okay, yeah. The government gives them freedom.
Freedom.
Freedom sounds better than free. There. Minju, what were you talking about? To show off with the physical?
Physical product? I don't know.
You're talking about cash, yeah.
Yeah.
To show off.
Physical sheep?
To show off visually. To show off with the physical. You're talking about cash, and you actually want to show off in person.
In person?
In person meaning like we are meeting in person, not.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, you want to show off.
The actual shape. I mean, the actual shape of the money.
The shape.
Yeah, I mean, to mean the kind of shape, I use the word physical.
With shape, you're talking about it is a rectangle and not a circle. Maybe shape isn't the right word. To show off the appearance.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Appearance?
The appearance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Appearance.
Yeah. Baidu Cloud gives us 1 terabyte. No mistake. I would maybe change provides instead of gives because it's kind of a service type thing. That's just a small one that just sounds better. I don't know the Chinese. No the. I don't know Chinese. I don't speak Chinese. I don't know Chinese. And I think it better government make policies. You want to add a couple word there. I think it is better if or when the government makes policies. I think it is better if or when the government makes policies. Soo-hyun, you said the stock market is change every time. You could many different ways. Stock market is always changing. The stock market is volatile. The stock market is unpredictable. You said I find out the article. Choose. I found the article or I found out. You don't found out the article. You use found out for information. I heard. I found out. I found the article. You said it's not always. Add the word true. It's not always true. You said cut the transaction tracks. I'm not sure what you were talking about, but that sounded strange too. Maybe just cut the transaction tracks. You're talking about money laundering. To hide the money, to hide the transaction, to cut, to leave no trace instead of tracks. And bad influence of government, I think effect sounds better than influence. Bad influence sounds like a person is a bad influence on me. He makes me drink. He makes me lazy. He is a bad influence on me. it is mostly used for that. You were talking about government having a lot of government having a lot of regulations, so that would have some bad effects. Any questions? No?
I
Yes.
want to ask. So the first day